The transmission came at exactly midnight, Earth Standard Time. Every screen on every human world flickered at once. The face that appeared was insectoid, with compound eyes that reflected 1,000 points of light. Ambassador Zirith of the Collective spoke in a voice that sounded like grinding metal. "You have been chosen," the creature said. "The Collective has observed your species for 300 cycles. You are adequate workers. You will surrender your worlds. You will surrender your ships. You will serve the Collective, or you will cease to exist." The message ended. Silence fell across human space. In the command center of the Imperial flagship Prometheus, Admiral Helena Cross stood with her hands clasped behind her back. She was a woman of 60 years, with gray hair cut short and eyes that had seen 3 wars. Around her, officers waited in tense silence. They had all heard the transmission. "Get me Earth Command," she said quietly. The screen flickered. Emperor Marcus Chen appeared, his face calm but his jaw tight. He was young for an emperor, only 42, but he had been trained from birth for moments like this. Behind him stood the War Council, 12 men and women who controlled the largest military force humanity had ever assembled. "Admiral Cross," the Emperor said, "I trust you received their message." "I did, Your Majesty." "What is your assessment?" Helena turned to look at the star chart behind her. It showed the known galaxy, with human space marked in blue. Beyond their borders lay the territory of the Collective, a vast empire that spanned 3,000 systems. According to intelligence reports, they had conquered 47 species. None had ever resisted successfully. "They believe we are like the others," Helena said. "They think we will kneel." The Emperor nodded slowly. "They do not know our history. They do not know what we are." "No, Your Majesty. They do not." Marcus Chun leaned forward. "Admiral Cross, you have operational command of the Imperial fleet. All 347 vessels are at your disposal. The Collective has given us 30 days to surrender. I am giving you 30 days to teach them why humanity bows to no one." Helena saluted. "It will be done, Your Majesty." The screen went dark. Helena turned to face her officers. Captain James Park, her second-in-command, stepped forward. He was a brilliant tactician who had never lost a battle. Beside him stood Commander Sarah Okonkwo, the finest weapons specialist in the fleet. "Contact the fleet," Helena ordered. "All vessels to battle stations. We are going to war." The next 30 days were a blur of preparation. The Imperial fleet gathered at the edge of human space, near the border world of New Helsinki. 347 warships hung in the void, their hulls gleaming under distant starlight. Each one was a masterpiece of human engineering, built to survive and to destroy. Helena spent those days studying the Collective. She read every intelligence report, every intercepted transmission, every piece of data they had gathered over centuries of observation. The Collective was old, perhaps 10,000 years old. They had perfected their methods of conquest. They would arrive at a new world, deliver their ultimatum, and wait. When the species surrendered, as they always did, the Collective would absorb them peacefully. Resistance was rare, and it was always crushed quickly. But something troubled Helena. The Collective had never faced a species like humanity. They had never faced a species that had spent its entire existence fighting. War was in human blood. It was written into their DNA, from the first caveman who picked up a stone to kill his neighbor, to the soldiers who had fought across 100 worlds. Humanity knew only one response to threats. They destroyed them. On the 29th day, the Collective arrived. Their fleet emerged from hyperspace like a storm cloud, blocking out the stars. Helena stood on the bridge of the Prometheus and watched them come. Intelligence had estimated the Collective might send 100 ships. They had sent 500. "They want to intimidate us," Captain Park said quietly. "Make us see that resistance is futile," Helena smiled. It was not a pleasant smile. "They will learn. The Lid collective vessel transmitted another message. Ambassador Zirith appeared once more, his compound eyes gleaming with what might have been satisfaction. "You have not surrendered," he said. "This was expected. All species resist at first, but you see our fleet now. You see that you cannot win. Lay down your weapons. Submit to the collective. This is your final opportunity." Helena stepped forward. "Open a channel." The communications officer complied. Helena's face appeared on every screen in both fleets. "Ambassador Zirith," she said, "I am Admiral Helena Cross of the Terran Empire. I speak for all humanity. You have made a mistake coming here. You have conquered 47 species because those species valued survival over freedom. They chose to live on their knees rather than die on their feet. We are not like them." She paused, letting the words sink in. "You think your numbers give you strength. You think your history of victories makes you invincible. But you have never faced us. You have never faced a species that was born in blood and fire. You have never faced a species that would rather burn the galaxy to ashes than bow to another." Ambassador Zirith's eyes flickered. For the first time, there was uncertainty in his voice. "You cannot win. Our fleet is superior. Our technology is beyond yours. Your resistance will only bring more suffering." Helena laughed. It was a cold sound, without humor. "You think we built 300 ships? Ambassador, we built 300 ships that you could see. We wanted you to come. We wanted you to bring your fleet to our doorstep. Because every species you have conquered was waiting for rescue. They were hoping someone would save them. We are not waiting for anyone." She raised her hand. "All ships, reveal." Around the collective fleet, space itself seemed to twist. Stealth fields dropped, revealing the true size of the Imperial fleet. 1,200 vessels emerged from the darkness, surrounding the enemy on all sides. But that was not all. Behind the human lines, massive structures powered up, their surfaces crackling with energy. "Those are orbital defense platforms," Helena said. "We have been building them for 50 years. Each one carries enough firepower to destroy a moon. And Ambassador, I should mention something else." She leaned closer to the camera. "Your ships run on crystalline power cores. We know this because we captured one of your vessels 3 years ago. We have spent that time studying your technology, and we have developed a weapon that can destabilize those cores from a distance of 50,000 kilometers." Ambassador Zirith's face changed. The arrogance was gone, replaced by something that looked very much like fear. "You are bluffing," he said, but his voice trembled. "Commander Okonkwo," Helena said without looking away from the screen, "fire one pulse at their lead vessel." Low power. A beam of pale blue light lanced out from the Prometheus. It struck the collective flagship, and for a moment nothing happened. Then the ship began to shake. Lights flickered along its hull. Inside, alarms screamed as the power core became unstable. "That was 10% power," Helena said. "At full power, your ship would have exploded. Every ship in your fleet would have exploded. You came here thinking you would receive our surrender. You were wrong." She straightened. "Here is what will happen now. You will withdraw your fleet immediately. You will return to your space, and you will never enter human territory again. You will release every species you have enslaved, and you will spread a message to every corner of the galaxy." Her voice dropped to a whisper that somehow filled every speaker. "Tell them that humanity is coming. Tell them that the age of submission is over. Tell them that any empire that threatens us will be destroyed, not defeated. Not conquered, destroyed. We will burn your worlds. We will shatter your fleets. We will erase your civilization from history. And when future species look at the stars and wonder what happened to the collective, they will find only silence." Ambassador Zirith was shaking now. His compound eyes darted back and forth, searching for some escape, some hope. He found none. "You cannot do this," he said. "The collective has existed for 10,000 years. We are eternal. Helena shook her head slowly. Nothing is eternal. The dinosaurs thought they were eternal. The roaming empire thought it was eternal. Every tyrant who ever lived thought they would rule forever. They were all wrong. And so are you. She turned to her weapons officer. Target all collective vessels. Prepare to fire on my command. Across the fleet, weapons locked onto targets. The collective ships tried to move, tried to escape, but they were surrounded. The human vessels had positioned themselves perfectly, cutting off every avenue of retreat. Wait, Ambassador Zirith screamed. We surrender. We withdraw. Please. Helena held up her hand. Her finger hovered over the firing command. Admiral, Captain Parks said quietly, they are surrendering. The rules of war say we must accept. Helena was silent for a long moment. Then she lowered her hand. The rules of war say we must accept surrender from an honorable enemy. But you are right, Captain. We are not like them. We do not slaughter those who cannot fight back. She looked at the screen one final time. Ambassador Zirith, you will leave now. You will take your fleet and go. And you will remember this day. Remember that humanity gave you mercy when you gave none to others. Remember that we could have destroyed you, and we chose not to. This is not weakness. This is strength. This is the strength to kill and the wisdom to know when not to. The collective fleet withdrew. They fled into hyperspace, their ships disappearing one by one until only the darkness remained. Helena watched them go, her face expressionless. Admiral, Commander Okonkwo said, What now? Helena turned to look at the star chart. Beyond human space lay the territory of the collective, 3,000 systems filled with enslaved species. Billions of beings who had never known freedom, who had lived their entire lives in chains. Now, she said, we liberate them. Within 1 year, the collective was gone. The human fleet swept through their territory like a cleansing fire, freeing world after world. Species that had forgotten what freedom meant looked up at the sky and saw human ships arriving not as conquerors, but as liberators. The galaxy would never be the same. Word spread from system to system, from species to species. There was a new power in the galaxy, a power that did not seek to dominate or enslave, a power that fought for something greater than conquest. And in 1,000 languages, on 1,000 worlds, beings spoke the same words with hope in their hearts. The humans are coming.